Surik Mehrabyan.
Hello, Monet.
How are you? Today I want to interview about the Soviet Union and your life experiences with it. The Soviet Union started in the 1920s, but you were born in 1960. So tell us about your experiences.
I really remember mid-70s what's happening when I was more or less understand what's going on. And I can tell you that the form of not government, economical form that we have in our village where I lived in Georgia, region of Salka. It was collective farming, they call kolkhoz, but it means a collective farm. There is another form, the same time coexist with this collective farming is a sovkhoz, which is a Soviet farm. It's a translation of that. These two are very different. If in a collective farm, people who grow, let's say, for example, if they grow the potatoes, they can borrow the seeds, potato seeds from the government or from the authorities, village authorities, and the village authorities provide them fertilizers, tractors, everything that they need, and they grow potato. But when in fall they need to return amount of potato that they borrow from the village authorities, and the rest they divided two parts. One half should be returned to the authorities without any pay, and for second half yield, they sell it to the authorities village, but for the fixed price. We have the village and people have no control on the price. Authority decide which is going to be the price, which is about 2 times or 3 times smaller than market price.
Did the villagers want it to be more capitalistic? Want the system?
Yeah, they like that. But they know that there's no choice because the system doesn't allow them go to that way. For example, we at home we discuss that issue. It's so nice if we get our land and we can manage on that land instead of borrowing the land from the village authorities.
In 1965, when you were 5 years old, you probably don't remember, but F.C. Lieberman was an economist from Ukraine who had an influence on the economy of Germany, Eastern Europe, and what he wanted to do was make it more profit-based, just like what you were saying. Different from it wasn't, in his words, it wasn't capitalism, but he started. Do you know anything about him?
Maybe that it hasn't have a big influence on the economy, or maybe something this is a political issue that they decide, the Soviet government decided don't spread that. But I never heard about that experiment in that time.
So they started experimenting on 2 factories, clothing factories, and it wasn't a huge difference. It was more profit based, but America was very excited because they thought the Soviet Union was becoming more capitalist.
No, I see.
And it was fun.
No, but it's interesting. I like that at least compare with a kolkhoz, collective farming with Soviet farming, 2 styles. I more like the collective farming because it's some kind of family base. At least in our village we see that. It's a family managing all the business. But in a Soviet farm, everything is common, You can go to the work, you get their salary for that day, that's all. Nobody cares for the final yield. They know that at the end of the day, they get the same salary, and everybody gets the same kind of salary.
And I know that your wife, your wife's dad, was the director of a Soviet farm, right off the city of the capital city Yerevan, and he did he make grapes? What was the farm?
If I am not mistaken, that was a Soviet farm which they grow the grapes. Yeah, I heard that. I have no idea detail because I know the common picture of the Soviet farm. People go to the work, let's say 8 hours per day, and they get some salary per day. That's all. You know, it's a fixed. Doesn't matter who works better. There could be just some kind of differences, but my understanding, all of them get the same salary.
But then you also went to live in Yerevan. Why did you leave your village, and what was like communism like in the capital city?
No, I went to in 1974. I went to the high school in Yerevan. Which was a boarding school. Yeah, it's some kind of have a math and physics. It's a major subject.
Which is interesting because Russia was very advanced in those degrees.
Yeah, it's a very popular school, and all the kids from different places who are very talented, they come together. It's very interesting.
Including you?
Yeah. It was an interesting experience to be 3 years studying that school.
Okay. And the people got paid by the government? Your teachers?
Yeah.
Everyone?
Education. But that boarding school, you need to pay based on your parents' salary. But the salary is not high, you know. It's, let's say, maybe from 10 to 25% of the parents' salary. It's a not big payment, but...
And now you're a physicist in America? A physicist?
Yes.
And now you live in a capitalist country?
Yeah, you know, I can compare. When I left Armenia, that was a transition period from Soviet Union collapse and we moving from a Soviet kind of economy to the capitalist. And you know, it's difficult for me compare because during the transition period it's hard to make a comparison. But I know now I am following the news, still they are struggling. It's not perfect. They still haven't a good economy yet.
Russia.
Armenia, I will be talking. I guess similar situation in Russia too.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mehrabyan.
You are welcome.